Airstream song, cruising to the campsite singing our song. Airstream song, we are the Airstream nerds.
This is Jeff with Airstream Nerds. Today we're going to go through how to change out the Visor remote control in my Raptor tow vehicle. In my particular Ford model, this is not a completely HomeLink compatible transmitter in my Visor of my truck. So I did a little research, and it turns out that you can buy on eBay. All kinds of places sell these. I guess they get them out of wrecked cars or what have you. And apparently it's a direct swap out with this. Based on what I have found, you take the two screws out right there and the visor comes out. So you pull the visor down, there's the wire that's for the light for your mirror here. It's just a plug. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the screws out and we'll see what we got. Okay, so I pulled the screws out and I gently pulled the wires out. I did have to reach back under here and pull this down because I guess it was stuck to some of the foam or something like that. But it's just a simple plug. You pull these apart and then I can take it into the garage. The next step is we need to take the mirror assembly out. That's pretty easy. Take a screwdriver in there, slide that out, and there's the two screws right there and right there. Once you remove the screws, it's a simple matter of lifting it up and sliding it out. There's plenty of wire under here, but you can see that you need to splice to for the new transmitter. And at this point, you'll see the seam on the far end. In my case, I've already got a module in there, so it's easy to tell which end it is. You're going to stick a little screwdriver in the seam there and pry apart the plastic. So as you can see, I started to pull the seam out, and I'm just going to take a razor blade and I'm going to cut the seam. And I'm going to pull it back to here, and I'll pull it back to here, and I'll roll it back. So all I'm doing is I'm sticking this in there, prying it apart, and with two hands. Obviously I can't do it with two hands right now, there's a camera. But I pull it apart, and I take another, and I pull it up here, and I just move down a little bit, pull it up, move it down a little bit, pull it up. Okay, once you get it like this, it's real easy. You just pry it, slide your finger underneath, and it just comes right out. So I've got the seam cut, and you can see how it's sandwiched in between here, and it just the pressure holds the fabric in there. So it should be pretty easy to wrestle it out. There it is, seam's all ripped, and the fabric is all back. Now, from what I understand, you don't have to sew it back in to get it back in there. But I mean, if you really wanted to, you could sew it all back up and then do it. I'm gonna try it without sewing it, and we'll see when we're all done. The next thing you have to do is you basically roll this back. For those of you that have the that are just replacing, just pull up on this thing and it unsnaps. You can see there's little hooks on either end of it, right there by my finger, and then on the other end it just snaps in. So take that out and remove it, and that leaves the cover open. So I'm just going to roll it back. So a little bit of problem getting this thing to roll back. I don't know how to take this off. I don't want to tear up more of the deal. But on the positive note, there was no splicing involved. The piece that I ordered, the plug came off the old one and plugged right into the new one. I took the cable off the one that I bought from eBay and slid it right in there. So now I've got to, looks like there is a pin right there that lines up with the hole right there. So it goes in like that, and that pin catches on there. So I may just cut the tab off. Otherwise, I don't know how, it was a real pain in the ass. Basically, you see these two little tabs here and here. They essentially are sitting on either side, on all four sides, so I just have to pry it back and pry it up. Since I'm not keeping this, I wasn't worried about it breaking or anything, but it didn't crack or come apart. Scratch it up a little bit, but that's not going to hurt anything. The buttons are right there. So I'm going to try to get this thing back in, and then we'll start reassembling. Otherwise, you have to end up splicing cables, which, you know, you have a little bit of slack, but you can always extend them and work it that way. Seems pretty easy. And it went back together pretty easy. You got it to snap in. Seems like the holes are going to line up, so I don't have to do any cutting out here. So now I just got to wedge this back in here. Start in the corner and work my way back. Shouldn't be too difficult except at the very end. So I'm going to start in the ends, and I'm going to, you know, fold it in like you're wrapping a present. That way your corners are nice on both sides when you do it. Just work your way back to the middle. Shouldn't be that hard. Just have a little patience. Halfway done now. That took me about 30 seconds. Turns out that a screwdriver, I just used a putty knife. I used a screwdriver to pry it out from in here, and I'm just using the putty knife to push it down in. It's working really great and really fast. Came out perfect. No wrinkles, looks just like it did when I took it apart. So now I'm going to snap the cover back on. Just have to slide it over and snap the cover back on. Alright, so that was easy too. Everything's lined up, buttons are pressing. I've already confirmed, and that was one of the things I needed to say. I did connect this up to a battery, and I programmed it and I tested it, so I do know this works. I'd recommend if you buy something from eBay, you at least test it before you tear all this apart. I just used a jump box, connected I just connected the leads here, you know, the positive and negative on my jump box, and that's just 12 volts. So that was real simple. Now I'm going to put the light back in and go back out in the car and hook it all back up. One little thing you want to make sure, I just discovered one fell out, is there's a little pin right here that's actually, you can see it right in there. It's a little pin, they're the hinges for the door. You can see the hole right in here. They're not in there real good. They're held in by the plastic over here when they snap back together. So make sure you don't lose one of them, otherwise your door won't stay closed. Yeah, when you slide the cover back in for the light, make sure it snaps back in. Once you slide it all the way, push it down a little bit right here and it'll snap in place. Everything's back to normal. I'm going to go reinstall. Alright, so install's complete. Everything's back in the car. Yeah, I put these fabric things over my warning stickers because they're annoying. It's in. Press the button. Garage opens. I only have 2 of them programmed at this time. Press the button again, garage stops. Press the button again, it starts. The left garage. That one works too. Center garage. I don't have that working. The light blinks. I just need to figure out how to program. Anyway, successful install. Came out, looks exactly like it did when I started. It was a very easy install. Cost me all of like I think $35 for the emitter. Oh, there it goes. Program now. Okay, I guess I was wrong. It was programmed. But anyway, yeah, middle garage is now working. All is well. It was a nice little mod. Now I can get rid of the handheld deal that's in here. I do have a phone app that does it too, but it's easier to just pull up to your garage and open your garage door. Anyway, this is Jeff. Airstream Nerds out.